Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the special town meeting of October 18th, 2017. We call the meeting to order. I'm Eugene Cushman. I'm the town meeting moderator, and if you could all please stand to pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Assistant Town Clerk, if you could read the call.
Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the Town of East Lyme to be held on October 18, 2017 at 7 p.m. at the East Lyme Town Hall for the following purposes. 1. Establish a CNRE account for the purpose of acquiring police vehicles. 2. Approve a special appropriation in the amount of $17,500 received from the sale of the state police radios and equipment no longer needed to revenue account 0108 800 817 miscellaneous police, and to establish a budget account titled PS Police Portable Radios for the purchase of new town portable radios. 3. Amend the special appropriation in the amount of $76,854 approved at special town meeting on August 16, 2017 for the purchase and installation of a boiler replacement at East Lyme Community Center as follows. $38,400 Eversource incentive to replace heating equipment. Original amount $13,800. $3,374 in account 32-70-300-500-005 HVAC pump replacement townwide. Original amount $27,974. 4. To transact any other business proper to come before the meeting. And this was signed by the Board of Selectmen, posted on the signpost, and advertised in the day paper.
Thank you, Madam Assistant Town Clerk. The ground rules for a special town meeting are under Connecticut General Statute 7-6. You must be an elector of the town or 18 years of age and a U.S. citizen owning taxable property on the grand list of 10-1-17 in the amount of $1,000 or more. Under Connecticut General Statute 9-360, any person who votes but is not eligible to vote may be subject to a fine of not less than $300, no more than $500, imprisoned not less than 1 year, no more than 2 years, disenfranchised, or all of the above. If you wish to speak at the town meeting, please come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. If you're not eligible to vote at the meeting, please make that fact known before you address the meeting. You may make a motion to approve an item, to disapprove an item, or to reduce an item, but you may not make a motion to increase an item. I appoint the registrar if we need it. I'm not sure we will, as teller and checker. So we'll take up item 1 on the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to establish a CNRE account for the purpose of acquiring a police vehicle. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Siri, is there a second?
Second.
Sorry.
Mr.
David. Is there anyone that wishes to discuss it?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Most of the items here this evening are self-explanatory, and most of the people here tonight have been at meetings ad nauseum on these items. Easygoing items here on the entire agenda. This one, very simply, is we need to establish a CNRE account, which is a separate bank account, if you will, a separate pile that we can, when we're acquiring the extra fees that we'll be charging for the use of our police vehicles on outside overtime jobs, we'll be able to take that money, put it aside. The goal is to eventually be able to take that money that's being paid for by firms such as Eversource and tree trimming companies and companies that work in our town, and to be able to purchase police vehicles with that money rather than going back to the taxpayers for it. So we're seeing this as a win-win. We don't want the money that we collect from these jobs to go into the general fund, so we need to establish this at a town meeting. I've made, just for the record, I've made all our Chief Finkelstein's here tonight, Joe Braga's here for the other item, so I made all the department heads available for us.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Mr. Andrew, I saw your hand.
East Lyme, 194 Boston Post Road. Mr. Moderator, on this first account, do we not already have an account for money for police cruisers?
Would you like someone to answer that question?
Oh, probably to the first selectman, I guess, sir.
Mr. First Selectman?
Answer from here, no, we don't. This needs to be established.
In case that couldn't be heard on the record.
So then how do we buy them now? Just,
I'm sorry, Mr. Randall, I didn't hear.
what?
I didn't hear your question.
I said, how do we purchase them now then? We don't have a special account for that, or how do we get the money to purchase them?
As you know, we go through special appropriation every year to purchase vehicles. We don't save money to buy the police vehicles. We tend to borrow money. This is an opportunity for us to take money from outside firms that are paying for the use of our police vehicles and outside jobs, and be able to put that money aside, not put it in the general account, so we may use these funds for the purchase of police vehicles. We do not have a savings account now for the police vehicles.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman.
So this is gonna be a new account that we're gonna establish just for police cruisers.
And equipment that goes with police cruisers.
Okay, so that this money cannot be used for anything else but police cruisers. Is that what I understand? This is not for radios, this is not for uniforms, it's not for anything else but police cruisers.
Radios would be part of the police cruiser.
Well,
Right.
that's not what you got there, sir. You got police cruisers,
And-
NTC you should
And
have.
equipment,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, I will move the question. All those in favor of establishing a CNRE account for the purpose of acquiring police vehicles, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it. The resolution carries. The next item on the agenda is to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $17,500 received from the sale of the state police radios and equipment no longer needed to revenue account 0108-800-817 miscellaneous police, and to establish a budget item titled PS Police Portable Radios for the purchase of new town portable radios. Do I hear a resolution?
Some,
Thank you, Ms. Cheeseman. No? Mrs. Nickerson, I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
Ms. Cheeseman will second it. Would anyone like to be heard on this motion? Mr. First Selectman.
This is another good news item, as we talked about at the Board of Finance last week and the Board of Selectmen the week before that. Typically, when we're buying a new radio, this is police portable radios. We go to the vendor, the approved vendor that we do business with, and they give us a dollar amount to trade in an old radio for a new one. With his eye on the ball, Sergeant Masick said, well, let's see what would happen if we went to an outside the trade-in and went to sell these radios on the open market. And he put a call out to any municipality still in the state trooper system who would need the state trooper radios. It was able to sell these I keep seeing vehicles, these radios, instead of $4,000 getting for the trade-in, we received as a town $17,000 because we went out and sold them directly to other towns. As a result, we'd like to take the $17,500 and purchase the new radios. But of course, we need an appropriation for that. So that's why we're here tonight. So instead of taking more tax dollars and applying them to the radios that we need, we're taking some of the money we've already spent and the value of those radios and applying that. So that's what we have. I have Sergeant Masick here tonight and Chief Finkelstein who can answer any detailed questions.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Would anyone else like to be heard? Mr. Randall.
Ron Randall, 194 Boston Post Road. Excuse me. Mr. Moderator, through you to anybody who wants to answer the question. When was the last time we bought new radios?
Would anyone like to answer that question?
Sergeant Masick, East Lyme Police Department. The last time we purchased some new radios was last year. Normally we try to get a new mobile radio into the vehicle every year, but with the expense of them, we've taken them from a vehicle coming offline, taken that old radio and put it into a new vehicle.
What we're talking about, these radios are good for 1 year only?
Now,
Is that what-
the radios that we are replacing, there's a redundancy here. The town has a radio system that it uses where we also had to pay into a radio system that was under the state police. If you recall last year, I had stated that at some point the town was going to be on the hook for $150,000 for an upgrade. That was an unfunded liability that we weren't ready to, there was no funding for it at that point. So these radios are good for a few years. We do have a handful of very old ones that we were told by the vendor and by any other town that was looking to purchase those mobile radios, that they're so old and outdated that we best put a drill through it and get rid of it that way. Of course, we need the approval from town to do that. So we haven't got to that step with those older ones as of yet.
Do we, last question, do we put these radios out to bid to different radio outfits that supply these, or is this one organization that supplies all the radios, or?
Normally, yes, the radios do go out to bid, so as of right now, Utility Communication, who is our vendor, we're getting the state contract price for the radios when we do go out and purchase them, so they do have the best deal for the money at this point in time.
Where are they located? Are they in Connecticut?
Yes, they're in Connecticut and Hamden, I believe down in Hamden.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Masick. Thank you, Mr. Rando. Anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, we'll move the question. All in favor of approval of a special appropriation in the amount of $17,500 received from the sale of the state police radios and equipment no longer needed to revenue account 0108800817 miscellaneous police, and to establish a budget account titled PS Police Portable Radios for the purchase of new town portable radios. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it, the resolution carries. The next item on the agenda is amend the special appropriation in the amount of $76,854 approved at a special town meeting on August 16, 2017 for the purchase and installation of a boiler replacement at East Lyme Community Center as follows. $38,400 Eversource incentive to replace heating equipment, original amount $13,800. $3374 in account $32,703,500,005 HVAC pump replacement townwide, original amount $27,974. Do I hear a resolution?
So moved.
Mr. Siri.
Second.
Mr. Daigle. Would anyone like to be heard? Mr. Burgon?
Joe Brigad, Director of Public Works. This is all about, we already went through the process and appropriated money to replace the boilers at the community center. This all happened after the budget process went through, so we had to put together a funding source to do the boilers because there was no heat in the building. At the time, which was probably May or June, I reached out to Eversource to get incentive programs, and because we had to get heat in the building, it takes a while to do this. At the time that everything was appropriated, we carried over money from last year, which was like $39,000. The floor that the Eversource was telling us that we'd get for incentives is $13,800, and the balance we were going to pay for in the HVAC CNRE account, which is about $24,000. At the time, I was told we probably would get 50% incentives, but we weren't given that commitment. So we went through the whole appropriation process. What this is doing now is that after the fact, Eversource is giving us more money. They're giving us funding 50% of the project. So instead of cleaning out our HVAC CNRE account, so we'd have nothing in it for anything else that breaks in town. We're trying to apply the additional incentive money to replenish the HVC CNRE, so that for the whole purpose of that account is, as Mr. Nickens says, it's money that's set aside to pay forward, so if something breaks, you don't have to go and ask for it every time. Because I know right now we have an air handler unit out at the police station that we're going to probably have to do something about. So that's what this is all about. We're getting extra money. It's a good thing. There's more money coming into town. We're just putting it into this account so that we can fund HVAC items that break in town without having to ask money every time. That's what this is about.
Thank you, Mr. Buckle. Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, we'll move the question. All in favor of amend the special appropriation in the amount of $76,854 approved at special town meeting on August 16, 2017 for the purchase and installation of a boiler replacement at East Lyme Community Center as follows. $38,400 Eversource incentive to replace heating equipment, original amount $13,800. 3374 in account number 3270-300-500-005 HVAC pump replacement townwide, original amount of $27,974. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay. The ayes have it, the resolution carries. There being no other items on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.